Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Sengoku Dynasty Survival Guide. We are talking about a new update that has dropped for Sengoku Dynasty. The Kaizen update is what it's called, and it's kind of a rework of needs. It brings some new balances. Decreases the loading time, a bunch of like little things here just to kind of add what I think is a little bit more quality of life stuff, which, always happy to take that. So we're going to talk about these changes in today's episode. The first one is, like I said, shorter loading times. I certainly noticed that myself. While I was loading up the game, it's still a little bit long, but definitely not as bad as it used to be. Like, I was actually surprised at how quickly it loaded up. So, love that. Great job, dev team, on that. The next kind of big change that they brought is storage. So if you've played this game at all, you know that there's like a bunch of different storage buildings. You got your general, you got your wood storage, your food storage, your beverage storage. They have changed that now where you can put most of your items basically in general storage. So more or less everything can go in here. I can put wood in here where I could not do so before. I used to need, that could only go like in wood storage, for example. So they have not necessarily done away with the other storage buildings, but they have allowed you to now put these items in general storage. And the idea here is that like you can still build the other storages out there, like the food storage, the wood storage, whatever. Those are just going to be like the preferred storage building. So what will happen is that your woodworker, we'll just use the wood storage as an example here, when they make logs or planks or whatever they're doing, if you have the wood storage available, they will put it there instead of general storage. Now, if you don't have your wood storage building built, that means when they produce logs and planks and whatever, it's actually going to show up in general storage instead. So if you don't have woodworking or the wood storage, just look in your general storage because your items should be showing up there, and vice versa. If you have your wood storage, it's going to be showing up in the wood storage rather than the general storage. And so you might be wondering, okay, cool, why would I want to make those other storage buildings then? And the reasons that the devs give is that like if you have the additional storage buildings, it does organize your items a little bit better. You'll know where to get your wood. It's always going to be in wood, your food and food, beverages and beverages, etc. So if you're a little bit more particular about where things go, that could potentially help with just to make your organization a little bit better. It also adds obviously more storage space. Like you do have a limited amount of room here, not like a lot, like this is pretty big, but if you're having all of your items come in here, eventually this will get filled up. So having those additional storage buildings could increase the overall storage of your village, which always good. We don't want to run out of space. And then the kind of other reason that they gave that you might want to build the other storages is that it is decorative in a way. It does you can use it in a decorative way, which those who like to build pretty little villages, that's all for you, right? So that's a big change. Absolutely excited about that one. Just kind of like adds a little bit more flexibility. The other kind of big change that they have implemented with the Kaizen update is how consumption works, which is like your needs for your villagers. So now basically you can the UI has changed in some ways. Right here, we used to have like it would just say like how many they were eating. Now it also includes how much you have in your storage. So obviously I have 443 units of food, and they're going to be taking 88 like at the end of this day. So basically it's always going to show you how much they're going to be consuming of the meals, or whatever need that they're going to have. Obviously as you develop your village more, they're going to have more needs. They're going to need water, they're going to need luxury, all that kind of stuff. And it'll show you how much they're going to consume that day and how much you have in these little parentheses right here in your storage at that moment. So that just makes that a little bit clearer to see. And then you can also, they have a needs tab here now. And it shows you again kind of like what you're looking at, how much you're producing every day. I think I have like a forage, or I don't remember what I have, but I have something coming in here. And uh, and then it shows you just kind of like this is what your overall storage is. And then the one interesting thing here, if I click this, we can see all the different types of food that we have available, and then you can actually click, or rather toggle, which of these items you want your villagers to eat and not eat. So for example, if you are somebody who is like wants their cooked rice because you're going to make sake or something out of it later, you might want to like tick that off because you don't want them eating that. You want to make that into sake. So that is, that gives you a little bit of a more, again, flexibility, better control over what your villagers are eating, allowing you to do what you want to do with those items instead of just feeding it to them. So that adds, again, like I said, a little bit more organization, a little bit more control. We love that. Now, another thing that they have also added is, and this is like, they said this is like a prototype, so this is kind of obviously beta within early access in a way, is service jobs. And I don't have a guard tower, so I can't really show this, but basically the main service job that they have available right now is guards. If you build a guard tower and you have at least 18 villagers in your village, you can assign one of those to become a guard. You basically just connect them to the guard tower, and they'll just kind of like walk around and protect your village. You do have to give them certain items. Obviously, for a guard, it'd probably be like a weapon, maybe armor, and they will just literally just kind of patrol around the village and protect it, which kind of gives the idea that at some point, we're going to be seeing maybe attacks or something from bandits. We'll have to see, we'll see what that's all about. But for right now, they just kind of add security, which I think is going to, if not be a need, it might be like something that just kind of gives your village a bonus of some sort. So very exciting for that. For those who have bigger villages, you can maybe, get going on that. Enjoy some guards walking around. And then finally, they did bring a bunch of balance changes. The ones that I kind of wanted to point out is that the needs are different for the size of your village, which is really good because it used to be just kind of like static throughout, which was kind of okay for like larger villages, but less so when you're literally just starting out and you have like 2 or 3 mouths to feed, but you don't quite have the production to match that yet. So now the needs are a little bit different based on your small village, a medium-sized village, and then your large village. So just keep an eye on whether your needs are growing exponentially or not, depending on how big your village is. They've also reworked certain consumable recipes, so they're a little bit more, or rather say, they're a little less expensive to make. So that's kind of like medicine and meals. So you'll need potentially like a few fewer items to make those. So a little bit friendlier for earlier in the game. And then finally, farming has been unlocked earlier as well, which is really good because that's something that I like to really get into. So I'm happy that I can access that a little bit earlier in the game. So that is about it. I will put the patch notes for all the Kaizen update changes in the description for this video. So if you're kind of curious to see what all the changes are, feel free to look those up. I've kind of hit like the bigger ones, but there's a bunch of like little fixes and stuff too. So feel free to look at that. But that is it. So let me know if any of those changes are things that you're really excited about, or what you're waiting on next. But thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep surviving and keep thriving.